Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out?
Like shit, keep that in the trap.
Streets of Memphis, back with another banger video. And if you saw my last video, you know what's going on. You see the title, you see the thumbnail. We do have Rexy back. It did take a long time. I'm in my garage right now. We're about to head out so you can get a look. But this is huge for me. I had a lot of help from some good people. We got to shout out them. We got to go over what we did to Rexy. We got to go over how long she was down and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get to it, y'all. Here she is. It's been a long 10 months, but we finally have Rexy back. Everything should be tip-top shape. Still breaking in the trans, still breaking in the clutch and the drive shaft. Those are all brand new. We did go through a lot, and you know, there's still some things we have to touch up on the car, some minor body stuff that, you know, needs to be addressed. Little touch-ups here and there, you know, but I'm just happy to have the car back at this point. But without further ado, let's get into the story, y'all. So yeah, what better place to tell this story than inside Rexy now that we have her back. Don't mind me. Ooh, I'm looking rough. It's been rough. I've been crunching, trying to get this car back out on the road, but looks like we'll finally be outside. It's really one of those stories where everything happened so fast, things were going well. I'm gonna include some clips that I have in the video here, of course. But I think the best place to start was, you know, at the meet. We had hosted a roll race meet. It was me, Tokyo, and Pat. It was at Business Center. Y'all know the spot, y'all know the vibes. We always set up roll race meets there, so I knew ahead of time that, you know, I probably wanted to race something. And so you don't just go into a roll race meet completely unprepared. I wanted to make some test hits in my car, make some passes, make sure my boost levels were looking good, AFR levels were good. And everybody knows, you know, Subarus and boost leaks, they go together like that. So, you know, I just wanted to make sure I was all buttoned up tight before the roll race. And I actually got some clips that I'm gonna drop right here of me testing. So as you can hear from the clip, you know, I was doing two-step launches, which isn't obviously the healthiest for your trans, you already know. But two-step launches, I was running it all the way out to second and third gear just to make sure, you know, everything lined up, everything felt good, you know. I didn't want to be at the roll race unprepared, like I said, but I wanted to be as prepared as possible for the roll race. Just, you know, no surprise hiccups, no misfires, none of that, you know, random stuff that just sounds like an excuse when you're talking to whoever you're racing. But yeah, she seemed fine to me then. Made good boost, hooked up right away off two-step. Yeah, I thought I was good to go. I took her out to the meet. I had my GoPro with me. I wasn't in the first heat of cars that were going out to race. I was actually in the second group. So I wasn't the first group. I let Pat, my good buddy 6P Pat, like y'all know, I let him use my GoPro. I knew that the night should have ended early for me. When Pat was having trouble, he called me. He was like, hey man, something happened. I'm coming back to the meet. I'm about to give you your GoPro back. Lo and behold, same night I blow my trans. Well, Pat blew his first. So Pat blew his trans. He brings the GoPro back to the meet. He shows up in the daily, so I knew it was serious. It wasn't something that, you know, like a simple misfire that, you know, people say when they have races and stuff. And, you know, to pull up in the daily, I knew it was serious. But for some reason, you know, I didn't take the omen. I got my GoPro back, and everything seemed normal. I threw my GoPro on my hat. I have a hat clip. I wasn't doing the suction cup clip. I had just gotten that from Ron, actually. Shout out to Ron. He's another good buddy. And just gotten the suction cup clip. Hadn't even really practiced with it yet, so I was just playing it safe. Gonna use my helmet clip. And well, I'll let the next clips speak for themselves. Here we go. sound good. And see, as you can hear from those clips, the trans let go. She was not feeling so good. The drive shaft had also let go. I just went ahead and replaced the clutch as well, just to be safe. But this is officially where the thank you part of the video comes in. As y'all saw from the clips, it wasn't just me out there pushing my car to my house. While unfortunately my car did break down, it was somewhat close to my house, but still 5 minutes. And you know how 5 minutes can feel when you have to push a car and steer it by yourself in traffic. I gotta say thank you to the boys. I called Charles, his phone was down, but he called me right back as soon as he got home to inquire what was up. Shout out to Pat, he was the blue pickup truck y'all saw that was towing Rexy. Got me all the way home. Wouldn't have been able to do it without him. Shout out Arnold too, because he had just met me and barely even knew me, and he was still out there sweating with us, pushing the car, helping us set up the tow straps and everything. So huge shout out to those three: Charles, Pat, Arnold. Y'all are lifesavers. Honestly, I don't know what I would have done without y'all. I probably would have had to have left my car and got it towed, which sucks. But yeah, so you heard the drive shaft slap, you saw the trans fluid. It was bad. The car ran, of course. The engine, motor, completely fine. It was just the trans that was really the catalyst for this whole thing. We had some issues when I was just trying to start the car. Time we knew the clutch was probably bad, and just a myriad of other things, small things, but you know, at the time they didn't seem small when your car is down, of course. But at that point, you know, I got the guys help me once again: Pat, Arnold, Charles. Shout out to y'all. They got the car back to my house. It sat for a good bit while, you know, I contemplated my next move, and more realistically, got my money right. Ooh, don't mind the mess. We're still getting everything, you know, sorted out and buttoned up tight. But I knew for a fact that I was not going to be going with another 5-speed should I get the money. Just too fragile for the amount of power that I was trying to make. Give you guys a sneak peek real quick. So yeah, 5-speed just wasn't in the cards. And this is when I have to say thank you to another buddy of mine, and that is Gavin. Gavin and Charles. I mentioned Charles. He was also a part of the group of guys that I called when my trans initially, you know, blew up the first time. Charles and Gavin were so helpful to me in getting this STI 6-speed. They had to drive all the way out of town to get it, about 3-4 hours to Athens. Grabbed me an STI 6-speed. They grabbed me a new intercooler coupler. They were just clutch. So I had to work that day, long story short, and the guy was kind of having a special deal on the trans for me, where if I had picked it up that weekend, he was going to cut me a deal. I couldn't make it. I had to work. Gavin and Charles volunteered to go for me. Didn't even have to pressure them too much into it. They wanted to. Were more than happy to help. So they went ahead and did that for me, grabbed the trans, brought it all the way back to Memphis for me. And yeah, once the trans was in, we just had to wait. I had to wait for a spot at my shop. I did use Cordova Automotive, if anybody's heard of them. So yeah, guys, I did use Cordova Automotive. We're not gonna badmouth any shops, we don't do that. But they eventually got my trans in. Once the trans was in, I went ahead and just did, you know, some minor break-in things. I got new clutch, new drive shaft, so you know, you don't wanna be beating on the car right away. But I wanted to keep this video right around 10 minutes, just a quick update of where my car has been, what happened to it, what all the new mods are, everything that's going on. So we are back outside. Just wanted to make this you know, brief thank you video for all the guys. Thank y'all once again. We're gonna end this video off with a mod list. Nothing too crazy. So here she is, guys, back up and running. Still VF39. There's a whole story about the FP Black. We're still 04 STI top mount, rods, pistons, both Manley, so they're forged. That's really it. Air oil separator, of course. It's a Subi baffled oil pan. But now Rocking a 6-speed trans, STI trans, Faction Fab coilovers. I think that is it. Everything else on the car is pretty much the same. GFB blow-off valve, well, bypass, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Thank y'all. There's gonna be a lot more race content coming now that my car is back up. I won't just be riding passenger with other folks. So, you know, we back outside and we gonna see y'all on the weekend.